Okay, Bianca, du kannst loslegen, I would say.
Hi, welcome, very warm welcome to the very first Inventors Night, the Good Stuff Ventures Inventors Night. So this is not a night, it's going to happen in an afternoon, and it's also, as you can see, online. So we're giving this first baby a try to give this virtual hardware celebration event for you guys online. So what will happen in these next 2 hours? Basically, Inventors Night is there to celebrate ideas of inventors who have thought of a product that the world might need and get feedback from experts from the hardware sector and maybe even find a space and a niche for them to sell it. So this all happens under the umbrella of Good Stuff Ventures. So Good Stuff Ventures, you've heard that before. What is Good Stuff Ventures? So this is the kickoff of Good Stuff Ventures. So Good Stuff Ventures is a doing of Heuer Handel. Heuer Handel, you might have heard before. They've established for the last years in 30 countries a system supplier for electronic products. So basically, they staff all the creative, new, fresh ideas, electronic consumer products within Germany. So they are really the expert when it comes to, I have an idea, maybe this works, until getting it to the mass market. So Good Stuff Ventures is all about trying to get from, I have this idea, to giving birth to something, to get it to the mass consumer market. So now they're doing this for a longer time, Heuer Handel, and now with Good Stuff Ventures, we are trying to open the doors for fresh inventors and also startups. So basically the program is doing two things. So there's the Inventors program. The Inventors program is you have the idea in your basement, maybe in your garage, and it helps you to bring this idea to the market. So maybe you want to build it yourself, but maybe you also wanted to give it to the experts so you can invent more stuff down in your basement. And that's what the Inventors program is for. So tonight we're going to meet a lot of inventors. The other part is the startup program. The startup program is for those hardware startups who do want to get involved in the process and want to keep that their baby, but maybe need help to find the right suppliers, to find the right manufacturers, to maybe even get feedback and help to find the right finance distributors. So at the core of Good Stuff Ventures, there isn't really the finance that they're giving, but we help you to get you to the right players in the really beautiful ecosystem of production. So, and since becoming a partner at a hardware product always has a little bit of a risk, this is what the Inventors Night that you're just witnessing is for. So you want to make sure that you choose the right ideas, that you choose the right products. So this is what we're going to do today together. So of course, Good Stuff Ventures is not doing this on their own. We have partners who are in this game for a longer time. So Good Stuff Ventures has support from Axel Springer High and from Motion Lab, which is where both in Berlin, players who know this part for a long time. And Motion Lab is a beautiful space in Treptow-Kreuzberg where you can build and craft and get ideas into creating real products. So experts, I'm of course not doing this alone. So before we hear our inventors presenting their ideas to the audience, I want to invite the experts. So we have 4 great experts. I'm going to read them out and they're going to wave into the camera to say hi. So at first we have Matthias Heuer. He's the founder and CEO of Heuer Handel GmbH with over 20 years of experience in development and distribution of household electronic products. Hi, Matthias.
Hi, Bianca. Hi, inventors.
Sweet. Then we have Mariana Levitanos. She's our brand expert. So she's the former head of brand at Schalltech GmbH. That's a consumer goods and e-commerce company that builds up more than 10 successful brands. Recently, she founded her own agency called Amit Brand Studio. Hi, Mariana.
Hi, inventors. Hi, Bianca.
Hi. Then we have Fridtjof Gustavs. He's the founding and managing director at Motion Lab Berlin. That's the space I've just mentioned. You should check that out. And he knows the Berlin hardware ecosystem very, very well. Hi, Fridtjof.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our great show this evening.
Oh, sweet. You are in the Motion Lab. So behind you, that's the Motion Lab. Great.
Yes, I am.
Spectacular. And then last but not least, we have Sebastian Herzog. He's partner at HI, the Axel Springer ecosystem firm. Previously, he also had launched Lufthansa Innovation Hub and gets multiple awards. Hi, Sebastian.
Hi, Bianca. Hey, everyone out there. Looking forward to this great event tonight.
I'm trying to move out of the sun. Fantastic. So these are our experts. What will happen now is that we're going to hear presentation from inventors. And of course, you at the YouTube stream are a very vital part of what's going to happen next. So we will have pitches and they're about 4 minutes. And then we will have questions from the experts and feedback and things like this. But we also really, really want feedback and question from you, because the idea of Good Stuff Ventures is really to emerge so many innovational ideas from the ecosystem which you're part of. So if you have questions and thoughts and feedback, type it into the chat in YouTube. And we are going to read them out and ask the inventors your questions. So this is already what's happening now. So now I would like to ask our very first startup inventor on stage. So the very first inventor tonight or this afternoon is all about IoT. And you've heard so much about IoT, but IoT is a big, big topic. And so Raista is going to be our first inventor, and I would love to see Julia Gebert and Juan Ocampo. Julia is going to present to us. Do I see Julia?
Yes, Julia is there.
Yes, fantastic. We're going to see her in a second, I think. And so she's going to present 4 minutes. And because there is little 20 seconds delay between Zoom, what we're going to do this from, and YouTube, what you're going to see right now, type your questions early because there's a delay. Julia.
Yes, Bianca.
Is there? Oh, fantastic. Hi, spectacular.
Hi.
I can see you. So I've said already IoT, and it's about trying to get all those smart data out of it. Tell us, what is Vista about?
Thank you, Bianca and Good Stuff Ventures, for inviting me to present our solution. My name is Julia. I'm founder and CEO of Raista. And what you see here is nothing special at all, a construction site and an apartment building. But even though very common, both places we know very little about. We do not know much about the indoor room climate, whether it's healthy and safe. And with construction sites, it's even worse. It's one of the very last few places that are offline. And that is no good, because we spend 90% of our time indoors, right now even a little bit more. And in the next 40 years concerning construction, we're actually going to double the built environment. So 40 years down the track, we're going to have twice as many buildings. So that would mean that's the equivalent of building one New York City actually each month, or every 34 days to be more precise. And we want to bring more transparency and insights into those spaces. So I need to switch the slides actually.
Julia, are you sharing your screen? Because I don't see the sharing screen. Did you share the screen button?
Well, I was trying to do
I don't think so. So
I'm sorry for that. So you cannot
Don't be
use-
sorry. That's exactly why this is so much fun to do this live. We have no pressure. Just basically start again, but
The thing
make
is,
sure that
I
we
put it
share the
on.
screen.
Sorry, because I put it on full screen and now cannot. Like, just give me a second. Okay.
You have
So,
all the time in the world.
let's
We have no
see.
rush.
So, now
Let's make sure
that's
we
better,
see the
right?
screen. Wait. Still, I see you, which is beautiful, but I don't see the screen yet.
Let me see.
Okay, all is good. I'm hearing. So
Give me a second.
fantastic. I think this looks much better.
So now, I did share my screen now, and also the presentation that you're supposed to see now. Nicolene, we tested that.
Yeah, you just have to click Bildschirmpräsentation and then we're fine.
Perfect.
Better now?
Yes.
All right.
Start the baby from the very beginning. We have plenty of time and we're interested about what you're doing.
All right. Thank you very much. So yeah, thanks for inviting us to present our IoT solution. So what you see here, and now you can also see it, is nothing special. It's a construction site and an apartment building. And even though both places are very common, we know very little about them. We do not know much about the indoor room climate, whether it's healthy and safe. And with construction sites, it's one of the very last places that are still offline. And that is no good because we do not only spend about 90% of our time indoors, right now even more, and but also in the next 40 years, the built environment is going to double, meaning 40 years down the track, we're going to have twice as many buildings in this world, which means adding about the equivalent of a New York City each month. So we're set to bring more insights and transparency into those buildings with our effortless 24/7 monitoring solution. We've started out with our indoor multi-sensor, and we're approaching a renovation company, asking them to install the sensors once they're done with the renovation. And they're really thrilled about the idea of getting real-time data from their construction sites. So we took on the challenge of developing a hardware that would be suited for that rugged, rough environment, which isn't easy because it needs to be battery powered. We need other connectivity. It needs to be weatherproof and all of that. But we're really thrilled by the opportunity of putting one of these very last offline places online. So the outcome is the one on the left that you see here, and the sensors, the metrics are pretty much the same. We have added motion and also dust, which have proven to be interesting for our customers on the construction sites too. So the system, that our platform basically consists of those components. It's IoT sensors for indoor and outdoor environments. We can also add third-party data through our open API, which is very crucial, for example, for mold prevention solution where we need weather data. And as we all know, when it comes to IoT, it's not about the sensors, but about the actionable intelligence that we're able to provide with our analytics. We add machine learning to it so our customers can know what's going on their construction sites. And last not least, there needs to be front ends with alerts so everybody can be at peace of mind until alerted. So what it is, it's a modular and scalable platform. We're scaling internationally. There's traction in Germany, but also the US, Denmark, and Australia. In the US and Denmark, that's due to the fact that we have taken part in accelerator programs, and both countries really are excellent for innovation. So we really learned a lot. I'm very grateful. Currently, we're looking into interesting verticals, such as elderly care solution, where the solution can be of a big benefit. And last not least, we're not a sustainability startup, but there's a sustainability aspect because we're fostering right and timely decisions by our customers. And the side effect really always is, or very often also is sustainability, increased sustainability. So we're happy about that as well. This is our team, and I think you probably would, we're increasing the team, expanding the team all the time. We've just closed our seed round with the second closing currently going on, and we're looking forward to grow. And this you can see if you switch to back to the picture now. I show you the indoor sensor with which we've started out, and that we're currently planning a rollout with AV, our pilot partner from our corporate partner from the Urban Tech program, to their customer base in Denmark. They have about 150,000 Danish customers. And this slightly bigger, this is the prototype. So that's market ready. And this one is the prototype. We're currently producing the first small batch for our pilot partners. Then they're going to be minor iterations probably, and then they're ready for large production later this year. So thanks again for the opportunity of presenting those tech for good solutions to you.
Sweet, thank you, Julia. Now I'd like to get your partner Juan on board as well, because now we have questions. Maybe Mariana wants to ask a question or two, or Sebastian. Do we have Juan with us?
If not, that's because he's still in a call with one of our customers in Denmark, and that was supposed to finish at 5. He sent me a text that he might not be able to make it. So then
that's okay. I think you can also like have the question all on your own. That's cool. Mariana, what do you think about Resta? Like, what's on your mind hearing that product?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for the presentation and sharing your great products with us. And of course, from communication, marketing, and brand side, I see a huge, not only B2B, but also B2C potential in your product. And what is also my thought is that it's not only for people who are living in a new built house or a new built site, but actually it's for everybody. And it's interesting for everybody. And so I think that you have a huge potential there, and which could be also very interesting for you is to think about all kinds of cooperations and co-brandings concerning smart home apps. Which kind of functions you can put also into the app, which make it even more smarter from a customer-centered point of view. So my question is, what are your plans there, and what is your strategy there?
Yes, thank you, Mariana, for the feedback and the suggestions. That's exactly the pathways we're currently on. It's a B2B2C product, especially obviously the indoor one that you're now focusing on. And yes, so like our USP is rather is mostly the sensors and the analytics. However, in the end, you're totally right. Together with the right partners, and that's already what we're doing. The front ends are very flexible, and they're also like with money and nice user experience, you can build fast new solutions. So really, yeah, we're very open to several cooperations there, which is also what's currently already going on.
Wonderful.
Sweet. Sebastian, from your experience, what's anything that you could ask Julia to find more about Resta?
Yes, first of all, thanks, Julia, for kicking off our event. And thanks a lot for staying calm, even with the problems with the presentation. Well done, and thanks a lot for that. I mean, you talked a lot about the outdoor sensor. I think in times of Corona, the indoor sensor might be even more relevant for all of us in the current state. But that just as a side note. My question is really, how do you see yourself in comparison to the overall Google Nest ecosystem? Like, how do you position yourself against all the other indoor sensors and systems? Is that more like a cooperation mode? Do you see them as pure competitors? Like, where do you see your really lasting competitive advantage?
Well, our speciality, as opposed to them, is that we're able to provide to involve different stakeholders with different data sets. Whereas normally you can share data with your family, the same amount of data, everybody can see them. We're able to, for example, tenant and landlord can receive different data sets for the mold prevention solution, for example. Also with elderly care, it's relatives and carers and the person itself. They can receive different alerts, different insight as well. That probably would be the main difference.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Dear experts, is there any extra additional question from your side? Otherwise, I would go to our audience on YouTube, the hundreds of thousands of people who have, yes, Matthias, a backup questions. What's on your mind?
Thanks also from my side for your interesting presentation. I think Bianca already talked about it, but I would, of course, the item is for the big real estate companies and they will buy your system when I understand it right. And what I think is very interesting to have this as a consumer product possibly, so that I am free to choose, even if my landlord will not have the system, to possibly buy this product in the market. Do you think this might be possible, or is it already on your roadmap to derive from this system a consumer-like item which can be sold at a reasonable price in the market?
Yes, of course. I see Juan there now. Do you want to answer that? I'm happy to answer too, of course, but since you've joined.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, definitely. This is the B2C approach is how we started, and it's something that we have continued. Actually, one of the experiences of Raista, the on-haul experience or the unpacking experience, it is very B2C focused, has a B2C focus, and it's how we still pursue some of our customers. But we've been working mostly in more in an ecosystem part. So we try to provide sensors for different stages, but we're still open for that. And actually one of the projects that that Julia also mentioned in Denmark, where we're looking to supply the sensors through a very specific sales channel, it will be with a B2C focus. And that is where our roadmap, it is dedicating some of the time in the next 3 to 6 months to continue developing and fine tuning the product for the B2C market.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sweet. Thank you. And since this is an interactive event and we're not making this up, we have questions from the YouTube audience. I have 3 questions I want to read to you, Juan and Julia. So Hari Prasad is asking, are you making the sensors on your own, and how does the data analytics work with the data that you collected? So 2 in 1 question.
Yeah, that's thank you for the question. Yes, that is one of the USPs from Raista. So the development is completely done by ourselves. It's completely done here in Germany, in Berlin and in Aachen, where one of our developers is. And the production is done in Europe. So for us, it is very important that we keep a certain level of quality for the small quantities that we have been producing in the last 4 years. So the short answer to the question is yes, we do the development, but the production is outsourced in Austria. It's being produced in Austria.
Okay, good. Talking about Europe, there's another elephant in the room question. Juan Ari wants to know, how about privacy? EU laws in Germany, how's that evolved in Raista?
I think for privacy, I'll leave the question for Julia.
Yes, that's of course a concern, and also something that we take care of with this, like all the services we use, and especially like when I was talking about landlord receiving data, of course you need to have the consent of the tenant. So that's one of the main issues there, of course. Yes, very important to us and everyone for market acceptance, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a question that will never go away as well. More question, 2 more. So one is from Antonia Caravetriano. She asking, do you produce all the sensors? Do you produce them yourself?
So as part of the design and the first MVPs and everything, when we create new generations of sensors, the first 3 are produced in-house, very manual work. And then when we scale up to the next batch of 100 or 1,000 or the ones that we have produced in the past, we produce, as I mentioned before, in Austria with one partner that we have been working for already for the 4 years mainly.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And one last question from Tim and Alexander. Maybe you know that already. Is there a possibility of being reimbursed by health insurance companies when you use your product for elderly care solution? So maybe that's even relevant right now. Can I use your sensor to make sure that my parents are fine?
Yes, it also, like, what it all comes down to, it is in the interest of insurances that Reista is being used, not only health insurance, but also the mold, for example, is really harming the assets. There's also construction, like there's delays that can be easily prevented. So also there's venture VCs that focus on insurtech. So that's basically the what it comes down to. So yes, very good. Good thought. That's an issue for us.
Sweet. Thank you so much, Juan, Julia. That was our very first inventor. Thank you for coming and presenting. So stay with us. We're going to see you later again for more question and answers. Thank you. I would love to ask our next inventors on stage. They are dealing to innovate a topic that all of us in quarantine have been dealing with a lot, which is boiling water. So Xinco is the next innovators team we are dealing with, and Sabine Schröder and Alexandros Zachos are presenting their innovation to us. Do we have them online? Sabine and Alexandros. I'm sure there's somewhere here because there's always a delay, so I can just keep talking until they...
Yes, Sabine here. Can you hear me?
Hi, Sabine. Yes, I can.
And can you see me?
I can't. Did you put the switching on the camera button?
Well, oh, here we go. Hello now.
That looks promising. It's about to. I mean, we're really asking a lot from the infrastructure internet. It's doing something. I don't quite see you.
Yeah, but it's turned off, right? It's turned on right now.
Give it patience and love. I'm sure it will come.
Go on.
Then we have Alexandros. So both of you, the camera I can't see, which doesn't mean that the YouTube panel can't see them. Having my little secret channels next to me in order to know if I see the same, then the masses outside see. Ah, fantastic. I can see Alexandros. Yes.
Hello.
What a beautiful background you have there.
Yeah, it's
a
technical background and designs of our Xinco. But I will explain a few things later on.
Yeah. I mean, and we're going to wait for Sabine for another second. I'm sure that she's popping up. Sabine, have you pushed the button? Does it say that it shares the camera?
Yeah, so the camera is on.
Maybe switch it on and off again.
Yes, I did so already. So not sure where else to press. Nicolene, can you support from the back office?
I'm sure she's doing that already. I'm sure she's like, yeah.
Your camera's on, but I can't see you, unfortunately. So maybe Alexandros.
Yeah, let's play with that. Maybe Alexandros can speak, and Sabine, you can speak without seeing us, but we see the beautiful water boiler we have in front of us.
Yeah,
do you feel comfortable to start?
Yeah, we can. So I think it's important you see Aleko and Alexandros in our product, of course. So I'll just give it a start without any impression on my side.
Perfect. We hear you. That's enough. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The screen is yours.
Am I taking over, Bianca? Are you going to introduce?
Yes. There's really not much that I want to give away, so the screen is all yours.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks for that, and thanks to Good Stuff Ventures. Great to be here on that virtual stage. Hello to everybody else. So we are Xinco, and we have a unique technology for bringing water to boil. Xinco is the clever kettle to use on induction hobs. It knows exactly when to shut off. And Xinco is far better than any electronic water boiler most of us are using today. Why is that? Why is Xinco better? Well, first of all, it comes along without any cable and therefore does not require a power socket, nor does it occupy a fixed space in all our kitchens. Calcification and cleaning are always topics, but with its most flexible design, that's easy to handle. Last but not least, Xinco is exceptionally eco-friendly. It neither ends up in electronic waste, nor does it pollute the environment as other small electric devices do. Quite the contrary. In fact, it is fully recyclable. At this point, I would like to hand over to the engineering brain of Xinco, who will explain why Xinco makes the difference. Here you go, Alexandros.
Thanks, Sabine. We truly believe we make the difference in bringing water to boil. Xinco combines the advantages of conventional electric water boilers with the innovative technology of induction hobs. Induction cookers are in fact the most efficient heat source in the kitchen. And every induction hob switches off when a pot is removed. We do not remove the whole pot, but an induction sensitive plate is lifted automatically inside a glass container as soon as the water boils. And this switches the cooker off. In the left picture, you can see Xinco in operational mode. The heating plate is on the bottom of the container, the water is boiling, and the hob remains on. On the right side, Xinco stopped. The heating plate is lifted up, and the boiling hot water is ready to use. The hob is shut off. As shown in the previous video, Xinco has the advantages of traditional kettles on induction cookers, but includes the automatic shutdown of electric water boilers without needing own electronics. Our Xinco is really unique and registered for patent. Xinco works on every induction stove worldwide without any technical variants. It is resource efficient, long-lasting, and repairable. And it is dishwasher proof and safe. After 1.5 years of development, we are now at the point where an idea becomes a product. Here you can see our design prototype. We also created a functional prototype, the trademark Xinco, and financed this all on our own. We now prepare the production and the market entry and search for potential partners. Wherever we introduce Xinco, we get outstandingly positive feedback. Xinco, simply better cooking. Be part of the Xinco community. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexandros. Thank you, Julia. This is such a true inventor story, because what you don't know about the company Xinco, you guys at YouTube, is that the two of them have been neighbors for 20 years. And then evolved, like they moved even away from each other. They became friends, and now they're like sharing a company to have a real innovation that I would have used a lot. So let's see if I'm not alone in liking this product, and ask our experts if they have any questions. Maybe Fridtjof and Matthias have questions to Xinco. Fridtjof, what is on your mind seeing this innovation?
Yeah, thanks a lot for this awesome presentation, Alexandros and Sabine. I really like your product. I like the idea. I like the design, how it looks like. It's so simple. And especially when ideas are so simple, I all think about what are the competitors in your market, and what can you do better than all the competitor in your market? Yeah, what is your approach to this?
In fact, there is no product like Xinco in the world at the time being. And so if you take it very close, you can say it's not, there is no competitor at the time being. We are the only ones who have such a product. If you just look a little bit wider, of course, the traditional and conventional electric kettles are the products that we want to, to compete to. And but we are in fact very different than they are. We differ a lot because we don't have electronics. We use the most efficient heat source that you anyway have in your kitchen. And it is so simple and easy as an electric kettle, which does not stop automatically, but only whistles if it's ready. But this one is safe. It is has used the efficiency of the induction hob, is very fast, faster than most of the electrical kettles. And it is safe because it stops automatically when the water boils.
Matthias, do you have anything to ask for our inventors?
Thank you, Bianca. Yeah, first of all, thank you very much, Susanne and Alexandros, for your presentation. Very interesting. So this is exactly the products we are dealing with at Hoya. And I have a lot of questions, so I would like to sort out some of the most important, possibly more to the technical direction, or also to understand the product better. So when I understand it correctly, we have like a classic boiling kettle, but we can use it on an induction cooking plate right now. So can you say something about the time I need to boil the water? For example, if you compare it to a normal water kettle, if I would like to boil like 1 liter or 1.5 liter of water, how much time will it take?
Yes, if you have an electric kettle, then, or an electric water boiler, then of course it depends on the power that it has. My kettle, electrical kettle at home, is a good one. It's from Siemens. It has 2,200 to 2,400 watts, and it needs about 3.5 minutes to boil 1 liter. And our Xinco is faster. It's about less than 3 minutes that we need. Okay. And another question regarding your, you mentioned a patent, or you have IP rights on your invention. So is it mainly based on the general technique of this item, or this cut-off mechanism that it stops when it boils? Could you say something more about this? Yeah, we took a very close look at the state of the art, and we studied the state of the art patents very carefully. And the state of the art patents do not conflict with our patent and our technology. Our important claims are new, and therefore we are happy that we would get the patent. Up to now it's pending. But we have a report from the international pending patent, where it's written that at least 5 claims of our patent are complete new. And the general idea of having a metal plate on the induction hob is known, and maybe you've heard from Nito, for instance. This is a company, also a startup, with which tried to, or we've got a lot of money and collected a lot of money in the internet, in crowdfunding. But at the end, we are not able to really fulfill the task, and we're not able to come up with a product. So in detail, of course, it's tricky. And we work together with a spin-off of the University of Bochum. It's a fast-growing company which supplies the automotive industry with SMA. This is Formgedächtnislegierung in Germany. In English, that's alloy, metal alloys. Okay. Whatever. And they supply the automotive industry, and also are our technology supplier for the main part, which we are able to patent.
Thank you very much,
That's the
Alexandra.
mechanism that switches, that makes the impulse to switch the plate. And there are a lot of patents in the world, many patents related to this about induction cookies. Some of them are very old, they are from 1990, but there's no product like Synco on the market. And there's no product, no patent who's doing it like Synco. And we know very well how to do it. And yeah, we are confident that there is no, that there is no important claims which hinder us to utilize commercially our product.
Sweet.
Okay,
Thank
Alexandra,
you,
thank you very much for now. Possibly we can clarify some more details later, but there might be more questions from the audience.
Yeah, plenty of questions. This product really made the heart burn, but I think I also want to ask Mariana, I know that you didn't say you're a sustainability company, but I know there's a big sustainability sector. Mariana had something in her mind about this. One last expert question, and then we switch to the audience.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for this presentation. I also deal a lot in my life with kettles, but this one is truly special. Congratulations for that. And of course, what we can see that this is a product which is really connectable in a great way to this mega trend of sustainability. And you have a lot of things which you already did in a wonderful way. What I think we can, where there is some potential where you can think about it is everything what's above the glass, it's plastic, if I understand it correctly now. Yes?
Well, the lid above is on plastic, but it comes to touch with the water only at the very end, when the water is really boiling. And during the whole phase of boiling, heating and boiling, there's only stainless steel and glass in the contact with the water, if that is the question behind your question.
Yeah, this is one part of the question. The second part is that I'm sure that thinking this question of a very sustainable product a little bit deeper or a little bit further, I'm sure that you will find some solutions by using perhaps plastic which is made from recyclable materials, or where you can use, for example, bamboo or cork in some details, which are great sustainable materials. Wonderful, yes. Wow.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Of course, we will start, of course, with one single product strategy, but later on we can imagine, or we already thought about having variants and very sustainable variants or wooden handles.
Using a wooden handle, or for example, using different colors, however you want to individualize your Synco.
Wonderful. I think you will, by using recyclable plastic or materials like wood or bamboo, which grows very, very fast, and which is also a very good material now. By using sustainable products, you can communicate even more, reliable. And this will force you as a brand so much, because in the end, I'm sure that you will be like the first on the market with such a product. But you even now have to think about how you can position your brand in a way that when others will follow, your brand will be strong enough for that competition, which will come, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
so very transparent production, very transparent about materials, about where you get them, and this whole supply chain will make everything about this product even more correct till the very end details when you're going to the sustainability positioning.
Great. I'm gonna jump in here just for time reasons. Did you get your answer, Mariana, that you needed?
Yes.
Yes. Wonderful, because we are already late in time, but I love this because there's plenty of questions from the audience. So Julia, Sabine, and Juan, I need short answers from you. So first, Sabine, somebody's interested in the Inventors is always a group game. Since Alejandros is the engineer in the play, what's your role in the company? That's the first short question, Sabine.
Yeah, so I'm taking care for all the marketing and promoting topics of Xinco, and especially in the case when we entering the international market and preparing all the communications stuff.
Okay, cool. And then we had, of course, some love in the audience. So Eva Schramm and Bettina Stietz wanted to know what will be the price, where can I buy it, and when? That's a hard one. Any answer to
yes,
this?
And it's really 3 in one question.
Short answers, please.
So I'm trying to start at the very end. So when will we start? So our plans at the moment by tonight are that we should be ready within the first quarter of next year. So because we are just, as Alexandros mentioned, just beginning with the prototypes and all stuff. So the price will be around 89 euros.
Very specific.
Now I lost your third question.
The third one is, okay, where? Well, where is hard, online shop.
Yeah, so where would be a longer story to explain, but in our first thoughts, we are going online and we are social media first for a dedicated targeting of our audiences. And this may be combined with live experience and on special events or pop-up stores before we enter into a wider market.
Okay, cool. And very short question from Tracy Rolling. Can it be set to different temperatures?
Sabine, I think I take over this question.
But short answer, Alexandros?
Not at the very beginning, but in a later version, yes.
Okay, fantastic. Great. Thank you so much. Since we talked about the patents and property, Willy Fischer, I've seen your question, but we talked about it already. Great. Thank you so much for presenting this. And thank you, Xinco. Now I will ask our third inventor couple to us. The third product will ring all of your hearts because it's a topic that we are involved in. So Clean Brace, what could Clean Brace be about? Well, since Good Stuff is does corporations, this product has already a special, let's say, urgency. There's already an ongoing cooperation with Good Stuff Ventures. So hopefully we can buy this soon. I would love to ask Till Jonas Uphoff with me on stage. And then we have Andre Maas and Lasse Tischer. But Till, are you with me? Yes, I can see you. Perfect. But you have to unmute yourself. Can you unmute yourself for a second?
I think I am unmuted.
Perfect. Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect.
Since I know, tell us, how will you save us all from quarantine using Clean Brace? The screen is all yours.
Okay, top. Hi, my name is Till and I'm the inventor and co-founder of Clean Brace. Before I start to present you our product, I want to take you all on a journey. A couple of months ago, I started with the idea of our bracelet. And at that point, I didn't know which waves Clean Brace would hit 2 months later. Last Monday, I wanted to validate our prototype and gave it to some people. But within 2 hours, the information about our Clean Brace had become completely independent. And this means that I lost all the control over it. And 1 hour later, the local newspapers in my city started to call me and they wanted to have an interview with me about our Clean Brace. So you could sum up a typical Monday morning, but enough about my roller coaster ride, which is called life. Cleanbrace gives you the possibility to disinfect your hands up to 6 times with one fill, anywhere you want. And I could show you this real quick. Like you have this bracelet at your hand, and then you can just push the tank right to it, and then you can disinfect your hands anywhere you want, and it's really clean and easy. It's also possible to just disinfect a local part of your fingertip, for example, if you just push the Cleanbrace for a little bit, and then it gets the liquid goes out of the opening, and then you can disinfect only your fingertip, for example. You can see our bracelet is really intuitive and that easy to use, which gives also kids and older people the chance to participate. If you used your Cleanbrace too much and it's empty, it's really easy to refill. You just need to take our refiller, which is included into every order. I take another one so I don't have to take it off. You just put it right into the Cleanbrace, and then you can refill it. I think you can see it right there. So, and up it goes, and everything stays clean and solid, and it's completely full right now. It's probably not rocket science, but it gives companies the opportunity to level up their hygiene infrastructure, especially for retailers, supermarkets, or service provider. We started a couple of weeks ago with our first prototype. I can show you right now. It's a bit more clumsy, not that smooth like the other one, but it also do a job. Now we are at a level where we can produce 300 of these bracelets every day. And we want to take the next steps towards mass production. This is why we are also, you taught it already, Bianca, we were talking with Good Stuff Ventures about it to make it possible to give everyone their Cleanbrace. I prepared some pictures of the most scariest situations you can get in at the moment. And I try to show it to you. Yeah, there we go. And whoop. Okay, so it's probably situations all of you know. You are like in the supermarket and you see it, and then you think, oh my God, I don't want to touch the handle of that thing because I don't know which people already touch it. And this are also is just one thing where we all have this feeling and this moment where we are thinking about which people have already touched it, and is it possible that a sick person touched it and I touch it and touch on my face and so on. But with our Cleanbrace, it's possible to make out of this horrible dreams a good one. Our vision is to give everyone around the globe the option to get in touch with Cleanbrace. If you want to know more about our Cleanbrace or our bracelet, or you even want to get one, visit our website cleanbrace.com. Thank you for your time and stay healthy.
Thank you, Till. I see there's a possibility of your servers gonna crash in a minute. So our experts have strict questions for you. Fritjof, Sebastian, maybe, Sebastian, would you like to start to ask Till some questions?
Can I stop there for a moment? Yes. My team members are also right in the conference. Yes. Can we put them in?
Please.
Andre and
Lasse?
Right.
Well, I'm sure we have. Maybe Sebastian can start asking their questions, but
yeah,
I'm sure in the background, yes. Yeah, totally cool.
Perfect. Hey, Till, first of all, thanks a lot. It was a great presentation. You actually answered already 2 questions because I was really thinking about the usability of how to get the liquid out of that bracelet without spoiling anything, and then how to refill it. You made a fantastic demonstration that really shows that even a virtual presentation of a physical hardware product works. So thanks a lot that answered that.
Thank you.
But I still have 2 questions. You said you're already able to produce 300 pieces a day, which is remarkable. So My question is one, like how much do you have to really produce and how much is assembling? Because you already said it's not rocket science. So I believe that there are some parts of it which you can actually just buy and import, and some of that which is really unique. I don't know if you have already patented it. So I would like to understand how complex the product is from a technical perspective. And second question is regarding the price you're actually aiming for. I would be interested in that. And before you answer, just one last comment, because Bianca, I was informed that on YouTube there was a question whether that actually is a snowboard or a wakeboard. It's in the comment section on YouTube. It is, of course, a wakeboard. So just to clarify that on YouTube. But Till, yeah, please give me a shout out to those two questions.
Yeah, sure. For the first question, I think the best answer part is from Andrew, because he is the man who is the brain behind all the product. And I think he can answer the question.
Okay. Hi, Sebastian. First of all,
Hey.
I love your wakeboard. I'm a wakeboarder too. And we have buy a lot of 3D printers with the SLA technology. And this is the reason why we can, why we have this quality in this printing quality. Yes. And we can print with one 3D printer 21 pieces of the bracelet, and this is the reason we can yes, produce 300 bracelets per day.
This is like the only part we have to produce on our own. The rest is like pieces where you can buy together and just put them together, and it works.
I might join you, because behind the camera just there is my 3D printer, which is Anycubic, so we can meet for 3D printing and wakeboarding.
You're in it.
Thanks a lot.
Maybe we introduce crowd printing. It's maybe a possibility.
Perfect. And the price? What price are you guys aiming for?
We are looking into the B2C market for a price of €13.99.
13, 1-3.
Yeah, 13, right.
Cool.
Amazing how social distancing totally works, how relationships are built through snowboards and wakeboards and clearing. So, Fridtjof, where you have questions too, please tell us.
Thank you very much, Till, for the presentation. And especially here in Motion Lamp, we see every day amazing ideas, amazing founder, amazing inventors. And what I'm really excited for is the stories behind it, because especially your product, the timing for it looks like, okay, you measured it, it's so perfect. It could help so many people in this moment, but you already said you started a few months ago. And how you came up with this idea, I would love to hear the story, and probably the audience as well.
Yeah, sure. No problem. The story behind the bracelet is that I had a friend, or I have a friend, he not passed away, it's all fine with him. And he is like super sentimental with allergical details with cats or dogs and so on. And he has a problem that after he touched something, when he was at my room or when he was at my house, that after he touched his face or something like that, he blow up like a balloon. And the problem was he didn't have something he had all the time, like a bottle with disinfection stuff with him, and he was like all the time doing this stuff and disinfect his hands and so on. And I was thinking, like, there has to be an idea, or there has to be a product which makes this much easier to not take a bottle of disinfection liquid all the time with you. And this is the idea where I come in mind with, like, a bracelet would be nice. You can put a little tank in it, and this was the idea.
Yeah, that is great. Was just another question. What was the biggest challenge for you to develop your product? And what do you think is the biggest challenge now? And what would help you to bring your product to the next level?
I think that our product is nearly at the point where you can say it's 100% market ready. The only problems we have is like at the capacity to produce it. Like we already said, like we can produce 300 pieces each day, and our next steps would be like to find another solution to make more of these bracelets a day, or like the another part that is a challenge is that, like I already told you guys, it is not a product which is one thing. It's built of some other things together, and the part to put it together is like another challenge we have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So that's a perfect link to ask our expert who knows about mass production, Matthias Heuer. Do you have a comment maybe on that? Because I know that you're already working with each other. Matthias, do we have you on the screen?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Till, you mentioned this before, so I don't have any questions, because I can tell you that Till called us already last week because of the urgency we have regarding the Corona situation right now. So he said we cannot wait until the Inventors Night. We have to discuss it beforehand. So that we did last week. And we are also convinced that at least at the moment, everybody would buy such a product because it's very helpful in the supermarket or for the kids. And you have your disinfectant with you. And of course, if you would like to sell it, the 300 pieces will not be enough. So we are working right now on a solution how to bring much more quantity to at least Germany, possibly to Europe within the next weeks. And we are working on it. And of course, you will find updates on GSW on the progress.
Nice. Till, do you want to say anything here? Oh, okay.
I think Matthias said everything.
Yeah. We have a few questions from YouTube, plenty of positive comments. So unsurprisingly, people seem to like it. Christian Höhn's question was already answered. How the story came up, what a timing, magical. It was cats and dogs. So Will Fisher wants to know what liquid can go inside. Will it work with 70% alcohol, and what material is the bladder made from?
The bladder one? I think.
What material and how much?
Yeah, I think the best man for this question is also Andrew. Andre?
Yeah, sorry.
I could answer it as well. The material of the tank is like TPA, right, Andrew?
It is for mass production. It is PP, polypropylene. Or
okay.
In this case, it is SLA technology. This is photonic SLA resin. This is
resin, right?
Photo. I don't know the. It's resin from the SLA printing technology. It's
and
special developed material for these printers.
And the other question was,
does it work with 70% alcohol? Yeah.
It's we tested it with many products we could buy from stores, and but we're not analyzed at till the end if it's possible with this special disinfection. But this also works, for example, with some gels.
Yeah. Cool. One last question, which is a more business-related question from Otto Regers. Is your overall cost low enough to sell through a middleman / retailer and not to lose most of your profit margin?
I think that it's with this product is made for retailers. For example, if you could bring this product into other shops, like for example, a Rossmann or a DM or a Lidl or whatever you can call it, this is the product for it, right? And yeah, the margin is good enough to make this possible.
Okay. Thank you so much. Perfect, Till and Andrea and Lasse. I think we're going to hear a lot about you in the next coming weeks. Thank you for coming up with the idea, and say hello to your friend who didn't like dogs enough. He did something good. Thank you so much. I would like to get the next innovation inventor on stage, which is called Jam It. In a way, we stay with the topics of what to think about in quarantine. And I would like to ask Günther Kraft and Simon Schlöer to us. Let's see, we have still, yes, okay, fantastic. So Günther and Simon came up with something that every Hamsterkäufer and hoarder has thought about before. How can I make my food last a little bit longer and take this process into the 21st century? So Günther, I can see you, fantastic.
Hi.
So without giving too much away, tell us, what is Jam It about?
Hi, everybody. So Jam It, shall I start with the presentation right away, maybe? Yeah, I will do it. So let's share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, we can.
Good, perfect. So basically, Jam It is something we started over 10 years ago. Everybody knows what's it's basically a dream of every prepper which come up to the Corona crisis, because it's about preserving food, making jam, chutney, which lasts very long. In German, we call it Einwecken. So the tradition is more than 150 years old or something like that. Think of your grandma already did it. Some of you may remember. In the old times, basically, they needed it because, first of all, they had large households and they didn't have fridges. So stock keeping for fresh fruits for the winter time was really crucial to them. Today, we have the bio boom, we have the LOHAS, we have sustainable food, sustainable technologies. We need to have seasonal, local, etc., etc. And everything we want to do is with a proven technology, and the technology is fully sustainable. So, but if you look at today things, however, the appliances today, they still look like 135 years ago. So nobody has really adjusted. They're huge, they're ugly, uneasy to handle, yada, yada, yada. You all know them. So the zeitgeist itself has not yet transformed. This is what we have done. Here you can see our device. It's Jam It for Einwecken. It makes it easy for preserving food, jam, chutney, and it makes it easy for everybody, basically. Here you can see it in the kitchen, and you can see the food, and you can see the space savings compared to the other devices. It has a modern design, extremely simple to use, and it's so easy. If you can use a light switch, you can use it. I tell you, prepper will love this. Let me show you how it works, the Einwecken, what we called. So basically, it's cooking food and then sterilizing it. So here you can see, you put the fruits or the food into the cooker, you put in time and the temperature, and then you let it go. That's it. The next step, what you do is, you put water into the pot, put the jars with the cooked food into it. Again, time, temperature, done. Basically, that's all what you have to do. So, and then you created your jam, your chutney, or your cooked food, or your preserved food. However, Jam It can even do more, because it's a pot for cooking. So we can do steaming. We added some steaming, a fruit basket, and a juice basket to it, and you can steam whatever you want, or you can create food juice, which is more like a syrup then. That's something in addition to it. So this is how it looks like. And if you look into the upper left, you can see you have you can step list, put in the time and the temperature. In the middle, you just put in what you want to do. You want to steam, you want to cook, or you want to sterilize the glasses. And by the way, what we did is we designed the pot so it fits perfectly in the standard WEC jars, or in the US, the balls jars to it. So everything is designed for what's maybe 95% is there. This is how it looks like. Thank you. So now I need to stop this one. So I'm back.
Nice.
Can you see me again?
Perfect. That was so sharp. Günther, well done.
And I did it in nearly 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with you. Presentation-wise, very sharp. So I know that we have questions and comments from maybe Mariana or Fridtjof. Mariana, what do you think brand perspective-wise?
Can we get Simon in?
Oh yeah, sure. Simon, are you around? If yes, switch on your camera. But maybe Mariana, tell us about what you think about the apple of Einbecken.
Yes, thank you very much for the presentation and the gorgeous product. As a little prepper as well, I do my own jam as well. So I was very pleased about the product and really interested. My question is also here, whether it's possible going deeper to this sustainability thought and also having an all-time contact of the boiled water and the plastic. Would it be possible to change the plastic material to stainless steel or to glass, for example?
Simon, you want to answer?
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, of course, it's possible depending of the quantity, how much products you want to produce, and and invest also because of the tooling and so it's possible.
Yes. And the heat. You know, you have to have a safe handling of it. So plastic is good for safe handling.
On the one hand, on the other hand, of course, especially in the last, I think, 6 months, we've got in all the media, in the whole communication, a lot of negative talks and also journalists and TV shows about how bad it is to use plastic stuff while you handle such high temperatures, which you do here all the time, like, because this is the main issue of the product, that you cook all the time with it. So this was one thing. The other detail I would like to add or to inspire you was that my thought that you've built up such a nice designed such a nice designed front, and it looks very, very modern. And in some way, you can harmonize it in more with the colors you use in your brand design, and the colors you also use in your brand logo. This would be my advice. I think that it could look in a whole even more modern, with some little adjust in this side, because from the outlook, it's a wonderful product, very, very beautiful design, very modern design, and it can be more stringently in this design language, I think, and then it will be even stronger.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Thank you, Mariana. Fridtjof, there's something on your heart, I can feel.
Yeah, thank you very much, Hamid, for the presentation. Especially, I love the design of your product. It reminds me of the 80s, and awesome. But at the same time, I see high complexity on your product, especially at Motion Lab, when we see and hear a lot of ideas every day. It sounds really complex, and it's the biggest challenge when you have a complex product with different kind of manufacturing. It is really hard to build the first prototype. It's really hard to plan the production line and all this. So what do you think? How can you solve this problem, and what do you need? So which kind of knowledge do you need? Which kind of access for production do you need to realize your product? You bring your product to life and scale it in a few million really, really fast.
Yeah, actually, this is a very good question, Fridtjof, because this is why we're looking for a good partner who can help us on this and do it. We had contact to Brankmann was it? I think Brankmann, and to Chibo. So we targeting this one because we cannot do that. That's clear. That's I think, Bianca, we all said it from the beginning. We are not the guys who can do that. That's your guys.
maybe that's a perfect link to one of our godfathers of producing products, Matthias. Any feedback on that?
Yeah,
Questions?
sure. I have some feedback. So first of all, I would like to agree with my colleagues that the design is very nice. So we have seen the other items in the market since years, looking very old-fashioned. So I think this will be a selling point, that you can do a very traditional way of preparing food or food preservation with a modern new design, combined with the ideas of Mariana, by possibly changing from plastic to glass or whatever. Before talking about the production, I have one question again. I understand the process of cooking and of einwecken, but you said you can also use it as like a juice extractor or fruit extractor. Could you possibly explain this again, how this is working?
You remember you had the cooking pot, the cooking part, then you put the pot in where you put usually the fruits. In this case, you put some water in. On top of it, we had a juice box, and maybe I can show you. And on top of it comes the fruit basket, and the fruit basket has holes inside of it. So when the steam comes up, the juice drops down into the juice thing. It's like a triangle in the middle, and it drops down into the juice basket.
Okay, means you have more or less like an extraction dropping down by heating it up. So of course you cannot put an orange inside and get orange juice. That's clear, but you have like an extraction collecting.
It's steam juicing. Usually in the old pots you also had that. You could make steam juicing. I remember that from my grandma, and then there was a little nipple coming out where the juice went out. It was in the old, so they used it therefore as well.
And the status you have right now, you have a prototype on hand, a working prototype so far?
No, it's not working yet, because we couldn't make up our mind if we do induction or if we do the normal steam plate which you have in a rice cooker, because we think we should do it with induction because it's more safe handling.
Okay, so but it's an electrical product with a plug.
Yeah,
what you can see from your presentation. Yeah. So means, do you have any idea on the targeted retail price? What will be the cost of this item in the supermarket? Do you have an idea in your mind already?
We had some ideas, because it depends on the material you're going to use. We had steel and plastic, which is obviously easier, and with the rice cooking, I call it rice cooking heating equipment, it would end up by €69 for the end user out there.
Okay.
And depending if you use induction technology, the price would be probably a little bit higher.
Yeah. Okay. Possibly we can combine it with the Synco technology then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it might work without a plug. Let's see. So yeah, possibly the audience would also like to ask some questions. Bianca?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, the audience likes it, and Tracy Rawling and Astral Kugelok, I have the same question. The burning question is, how big is it? Can you show with your hands what the size of the Jammet actually would be?
Is this the original?
Yeah. Maybe put it
here. I don't have it here. I wanted to show you. It's this size, this big.
So is it bigger than a head or smaller than a head?
Yeah, bigger than a head.
Okay, like 1.5 heads.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We did two models. One had a pot of 5 liter inside of it, and we did one with 2.5 liter. What we found out when we made a research, what we found out, the people, they want to have bigger jars in it and not small, and rather stock the little jars on top of it, because it was too small for cooking to it, the small one. But it can be a small one like this size, and the original one is like this size at the moment.
Interesting. Tilman Alexander also has a question maybe relating to this. Who is your target group? Like, who is your target audience? Do you think it's the person who does Einwecken for a long time, or is it newly Einwecker? What's your take on the audience?
It's everybody. I mean, I used to say to Simon, it's the typical cheapo customer, because it fits perfect for them. It's people who like to have this sustainable food behind it, and also don't throw away things. You can add to it. So it's a target between 25 and 50, from the age. So it's a typical little bit. Yeah, the sweet spot would be the cheapo customer behind it. And of course, as you preserve food, it is a food which you can sell on a marketplace. You can create a whole community around it, because usually with food you can't do it, because food doesn't last long. When you create a cake or something like, there's a lot of cake communities and whatever. But for food, you can make your chutneys or jams with you can make the Altona strawberry jam. You can make the Prenzlauer Berg peaches jam or chutneys, whatever. You can make it really small and sell it in a special. So these are the kind of target groups we're looking for.
That's a really good answer. Cool. I can already envision the jammers of the future. Thank you so much, Simon, and thank you so much, Günther.
Thanks.
Cool. We're gonna leave the kitchen now. So no water boilers, no cooking jam, but go to a product that also we all know, which is our mobile phones. The next inventors we're gonna meet is Carbon Mobile, and we have Firas Khalife, who's gonna tell us what the future of mobile smartphones will be looking like. So he's going to join us in a second. Since the sustainability aspect has been a topic, and what about innovation, here we have him. Firas, hi.
Yes, hi Bianca.
Hi. Cool.
Thanks for the invite, and thanks Good Stuff Ventures and all the startups. It's so amazing stuff. I think today on a complete different topic, I would like to share my screen and just, sorry.
Yeah, works well. The screen is all yours.
All right, here we go. Well, oops, here we go. Yeah, so hi guys. My name is Firas. I'm the CEO and founder of Carbon Mobile. Since the birth of mobile phones, real innovation has delivered smartphone to the world that we know today. But if we take a closer look to the last 5 to 7 years, you will see that a clone of similar devices that has been assembled in fragile materials, competing on minimal improvements like camera and notches, screen notches. The aftermath, 85% of consumer electronics end up in landfills every year, and yet we settle on these slabs of plastic in our pockets. It's time for a new alternative. Carbon Mobile is leading the adoption of sustainable, high-tech materials in personal electronics to make them thinner, lighter, stronger, and more sustainable. At Carbon, we saw the opportunity to push for miniaturization, again, making products thinner, lighter, stronger. We can revive the devices we see in Westworld and other TV shows that we know that give us glimpses of the future. At Carbon, we attracted industry experts to join our company, experts who work for Sharp, Nokia, BlackBerry, Motorola, Fairphone, which leads to this amazing product. Finally, after 4 years, I'm pleased to introduce you to our vision for the future of mobile. It's Carbon One Mark II. It's the reignition of miniaturization. It's the lightest, thinnest flagship smartphone ever built with carbon fiber and designed by Carbon Mobile here in Berlin. This is like nothing you have ever held before. It's extremely light. It's 125 grams only, and it's available today compared to the flagship market. Not only that, Carbon is also super slim at 6.3 millimeter. It's the 25% slimmer than any other product you can see in the market. Carbon fiber, actually, it's used in the space, aviation, automotive industries because it makes it very strong and surprisingly light. But in consumer electronics, it has mechanical and production limitation. Over the last 3 years, we were able to develop a solution, creating an IP for our innovation and for the future of this industry, actually. While carbon fiber is really able to transform the whole electronics industry, we got one big problem. It got electromagnetic properties that block any radio signal radiation, and it doesn't allow you to make calls or connect to Wi-Fi. This is the very reason that you never seen any smartphone with carbon fiber before or composite materials. At Carbon, we developed the HydroCam technology, hybrid radio-enabled composite materials technology. And this has allowed us to build this device that was made for the first time with carbon fiber. We're the first company to unlock the potential of carbon fiber for personal electronics like the Formula One cars. Carbon One is built using a monocoque design that holds all the electronic components together. Carbon is designed and assembled in Germany. Also, our vision is to provide these features in a sustainable and responsible product. For instance, Carbon One uses recycled composites with less than 5% plastic, and also we push for fair trade sourcing from Africa. Right after the launch, we got organic coverage by major media outlets across all Europe, and I'm extremely excited that the Carbon will be available in stores and operators with these partners while expanding across West Europe, unlocking an addressable market of 125 million devices. At Carbon, we set to build a brand with a portfolio of amazing products that focuses on miniaturization and sustainability, and we're just at the beginning of this era. Right now, we are raising an investment round, and while aiming to ship in Q3 2020, we seek for support on expertise, manufacturing, logistics, and marketing. So thank you so much. And I will be happy as well to share with you this experience. Unfortunately, we're not at the event, but I can share with you, this is Carbon, it's there. And it's, as you can see from here, the thickness, it's really extremely light. You can just you can hold it very lightly for sports or any activities. And you can see the real actual carbon fiber. And this is what we launched just one month ago. I would like to have Klaus from our colleague also to join now for the Q&A.
Cool. Thank you, Firas. Thank you. Nice. It's like the eco version of James Bond's new phone. So Sebastian, Matthias, do you have any feedback, questions to grill Firas on? Sebastian, what do you think?
Hey, Firas, first of all, thanks a lot for the great presentation. As you mentioned, carbon has been used in the aviation industry. It's an industry I previously worked for, so I have been exposed to the material itself. I have two questions for you. The one is, from a consumer perspective, how sure are you really that the weight of our phones is really the pain point? Like, to be honest, when you just hold your phone, I thought, well, I see a lot of things to be improved on my mobile phone, but I never really complained that it's too heavy. So I would really like to understand how much market research you actually did to make sure that this is a winning argument. And second question is, if the material itself is the USP, what actually will be your USP if Apple and Samsung and all the other manufacturers also switch to carbon production?
I will go in reverse to your questions. Well, actually, answering that last part is we see ourselves at the Tesla of mobile industry, right? So it's the same thing that when they started, you would ask exactly the same question, just like, why you are building a smartphone or a Tesla car, right? So we believe that we are leading the adoption of these new materials, that nobody was able to do it for many reasons. Some of them are technical, some of them are related to mass production. You are not able today to produce at tens of millions of units yet. But we are at the start of this era, and we know where we are standing on this. That's number one question. The second part was around
the pain point of customers really complaining.
No, there is no customer complaining. No, sorry, we are not solving a problem. We're creating an opportunity with our company, and I believe that if you go to the future, first of all, when you hold this product, you will not understand that. You will complain about it until you hold this specific one. Then you realize, oh my God, this is not even possible. It's exponential, the feeling that you get on this one. It's super light. At that moment, you realize that, oh wow, okay, this is something new here. That's number one. Number two, what we're looking for is really on the future. You're going foldable devices. You're going also rollable devices. All these devices, right now, what you got on foldables is that you got double the thickness and double the weight. You have half kilo on your ear. And we are going in that direction. Some of the team members that we have, if you've seen on the team, we have a great team. Some of them, they joined based on the very idea that we're going on that direction. Because if you want to solve this problem, if you want to have a foldable on your pocket, you're going to have it exactly the same phone that you have today. And if you've seen that scene that I showed with the Westworld scene, that everything's super light, we're going in that direction. So we're focusing on composite materials in general, not only carbon fiber.
Okay, thanks a lot, Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you. Matthias, any feedback from your side and experience?
Sure. First of all, Firas, thank you very much for your presentation. And yeah, I also, when I heard carbon, I also was thinking about Formula One cars. And on the other side, on the other hand, we also know from our experience that carbon is very difficult to produce. So you need a lot of expertise to produce it. So this looks very interesting. But my first question is, because the phones are also like lifestyle items. So normally I have my iPhone or I have my Samsung or other possible phones in the market. So when we're talking about what you are looking for from Good Stuff, is it more the production side that you need help for production to have it produced? Or what about the sales channels? Are you going to sell your carbon phone to like Apple or Samsung, or you want to enter the market with your own phone?
Well, I will answer part of your question and then I will leave it to Klaus. First of all, we have our own brand. 1 month ago, we launched our product, and our brand right now is really everywhere. We've been on the biggest media, and we have our brand. In the future, we want to license this technology, obviously. And on the other part, I think on the market where we're going, which channels, I will leave it to Klaus, but going back to the manufacturing bit, we are kind of covered. We need support, of course. If there is any leads or contract manufacturer that you recommend, or any network that can be helpful, even on shipment, new ideas, anything that can be helpful. We are setting up those things, and we are planning in Q3 to start shipment. Going back on the sales channels and what we're doing there, I will leave it to Klaus to give you a little bit more update.
All right. So on the sales channels, we've been doing a lot of work already, and we're looking at a product that is fitting into a niche of the market. So we don't expect Carbon 1 Mark II to be immediately in all stores of Deutsche Telekom or something like that. We're looking at a product that's dedicated for people who really love carbon. We're looking at something that is dedicated to people who go like, wow, this is a cool gadget. And yes, what you mentioned about status, this is absolutely true for this type of product. So the players we're working with are obviously within a distribution already for Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. We've been able to already have discussions with the likes of Deutsche Telekom and Mobilcom Debitel. It was interesting, after the launch, we had also the purchasing department of Media Saturn calling us up and saying, well, what would be the way how we could make that possible to work. I believe it's key that we are selective with the type of markets where we're going to be. As I mentioned, we can't be everywhere at the same time, but this product has, of course, a lot of attention because it is outstanding and really something completely different than the glass block to the next glass block to the next glass block that we currently have on display. And therefore, this is a great way of getting into the market in this kind of upper end and niche to that. And the distribution partners we've been working with and have contracts with already give us pretty good forecasting around.
Okay, thank you very much. So it's a little bit like the Vertu phones we know from.
Well, I would hope not, because Vertu didn't last very long, and then they went into jewelry shops, and I'm not so sure whether we want to be in that.
Yeah, but they also entered a niche market, right?
That is correct, and from that aspect, that's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the system running on the phones, is it Android based or?
Android 10.
We have Android 10 with full upgrade security patches available. Yeah.
Okay. Possibly my last question, in your presentation, you also showed some other items. we can possibly produce. So I think this is also an interesting point we could possibly discuss later.
Yeah.
What other products we could produce out of carbon.
Yeah, of course. I just want to explain quickly. You mentioned the difficulty of carbon fiber. Yes, it is difficult to produce. And yes, we have to change the production method on completely some stuff that's just happening right now to be able to mass produce. We have tens of thousands of units we're planning, not millions. And this is to our advantage as a startup. But we know in 3 years from now or 5 years from now, this will be in millions. It's possible. We know what it takes. And green carbon fiber sources and other things. I will be happy to discuss that as well on different products. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Matthias.
Good, thank you, Matthias. So we moved to the audience question. So plenty of question. One from Benjamin Perlzweig wants to know, when do you plan the market entry? You said it, but please say it again. When is that?
Q3 2020. We're planning. I mean, Corona. This exists now, and it's affecting us. Both, it affected us before in China. Now China is back on production. So we're planning by June, July timeframe to start. We already have a pre-booking from a Carbonizer audience and the pre-sales that we have, but we're going to open for new customers also as well. So that's no problem.
Cool. Fantastic. And then I have two technological questions for Klaus and you. So Danny Krautz wants to know what about the cooling and the performance of the P90 processor?
Two really good questions, actually. Carbon fiber does two things really well. It's great for isolation of radiation, as Firas already mentioned, but it also isolates heat, and therefore we have a heat dissemination within the design. So that problem was also solved in the design that we have actually now put in, and a lot of the heat gets actually disseminated through the screen, which is a wide open space for that, basically. The P90 is great for overall performance. It's the highest performance MediaTek processor that there is. It compares pretty well with the other Qualcomm or whatever chips in the market. It is, however, something where we go, it is something that's at par. Somebody who's interested in Carbon 1 Mark II is truly interested because of its design, because of its usage of carbon, and maybe not so much because of what type of processors in there.
Nice. And then the other technical questions, and then we close with Mariana, who has also one. So technical, can the MediaTek CPU compete with the current flagship devices using Qualcomm technology?
Well, here you go. Same question, same answer, basically. Yes, it can. Is it the absolutely flagship high-end? No. But it is performing very well, and yet I have to see a task that this processor has a problem with. But again, people will buy this product because of its design and because of the usage of carbon, how light it is, etc., not because of the processor.
I just want to mention one thing on that the processor is able to give you like gaming, streaming, all type of things, right? If you want to put it on benchmark and do some geeky stuff, that might not work. Go for Qualcomm. This product was designed for a specific customer. For now, we wish that we have Qualcomm as well. It's not that, but let's not forget that we are a startup and we're tapping into a huge industry dominated by big players that put 50 million euros easily on a new product every multiple times. And for us as a startup was like achieving this product right now is my biggest achievement. And we wish that we're gonna switch to Qualcomm next year, for example, with 5G enabled, of course.
Great. I'm going to leave the last question to Mariana Levitanos. Tell us what you want to know.
Yeah, we talked a lot about why the customer will buy this product, and you explained us a lot about the carbon material. But my question is, what is your vision of your customer and of your target group?
Klaus, would you like to take that?
I'll start with that. It's clearly people who are into carbon as the easiest target group for that. It's people who have this kind of gadgety type of approach. People who would like to fly drones are also people who would want to have Carbon 1. we have a bit of a debate. I would argue it's more like 80% male, and our Jamie, our marketing director, he says it's 70% male. But I think it's pretty clear that we are looking at a majority of being more like a male customer. People who are looking out to play around with new stuff and who would want to have a certain amount of status out of using something special.
So it's status and playfulness.
Correct.
Yeah, that's true. But also people who care about R&D and technology, and people who are into, for example, we got like a couple of people we got somebody from SpaceX, we got somebody from Tesla, we got somebody from MIT. They want the product because they do this amazing project. We got somebody from Hyperloop as well. These are type of customers that we have. And at the same time, we got people who care about sustainability. We don't push sustainability first because we believe sustainability is more like an ethical thing. So it's not your only USB. We have it there, but we don't push for it first on our product, on our website.
But
we have
of course,
R&D
the ethical aspect of a brand becomes important more and more with every day.
Correct.
Yeah, that's true. So that's why we have a lot of things we're doing on sustainability, green carbon fiber and stuff. So we have it there, and those type of customers who want us can come. But let's say our very targeted customer is let's say the easy one, who very much like this type of materials in different aspects of their life. That's what Klaus mentioned as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
thank you very much.
Thanks, Mariano.
Thank you.
Thank you, Firas. Thank you, Klaus, for all those answering of the questions. We're gonna move to the next inventor, and we're gonna. Thank you.
Goodbye.
We're gonna. Goodbye, Klaus. We're gonna stay indoors, but dive into the variety that Good Stuff Ventures really does, because Good Stuff Ventures has like very high-tech products, like you just seen, but also very low-tech products. So the next one is a true inventor. I want to ask Eitan Rieger, who is the inventor of LIT, onto our little conference and tell us what he thinks the future of lamps will be and where the energy for that comes from. Hey, Eitan.
Hi.
You're upside down, but...
Am I upside down?
No, you're not upside down, you're like sideways. Oh, yeah. Turn it. Yes. Now we see you in full beauty. Yes.
Is it okay like that, or am I upside down?
It's perfect like this.
Okay, so I'll just put it like that because it's a little bit behaving differently than I thought. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so hi.
Hi, the screen is yours.
Okay, hi, my name is Eitan Rieger. I'm an industrial designer. I work from Motion Berlin. And I would like to present to you a series of lamps that I started to design. And this is the first one. This is the Swiss. Now, this lamp goes back to when I once saw a picture on the internet of a slice of Swiss cheese with the light going behind it, and it gave me the inspiration. Now, these are very special lamps because they run on standard USB power. So each lamp has a plug like that, and they can run by any standard USB plug, or even you can also plug them into a computer. Another advantage is because they run on standard USB power, they can run by a power bank, meaning you can have a portable lamp. And this may be actually quite important as we get to these times of uncertainty about supply of electricity to our homes. Now, I continued developing further lamps, for example, the blues, or then came the Kado. I also made a sister lamp to the Kado 2. The Wellon. Also came the Sperry. Now, when I designed a new lamp, I put a lot of emphasis on the surface, on the finish of the product, and also on how the light reacts in different materials. For example, this black and white Swiss lamp has two different looks. By the way, the word lit, the name of those lamps, comes from Icelandic where it means color, and in English it means light. This one is called Lift Off. It's the biggest one I've designed until now. And it's a good opportunity to mention another advantage of such lamps. Because they run on standard USB power, you can use this kind of adapter, which is a double socket, meaning you can use it as a lamp next to your sofa or a bedside lamp and charge your phone at the same time, and you don't have to sacrifice anything. Regarding manufacturing, by the way, this is Link, which uses really nice veneer and aluminum. Right now, I use the manufacturing of the components of the lamp. I use digital manufacturing techniques, and the assembly is done by hand. Now, with your help, I could increase the amount of manufacturing either by this technique or by adapting the lamps to mass manufacturing techniques. When I use a new lamp, when I design a new lamp, it takes me about 2 to 3 iterations until I'm satisfied with the lamp, with how the lamp perform. And then I have the files ready and mass manufacturing can be started. So for example, that gives me the very high flexibility to create new lamps according to events or holidays. For example, I hope you can see this is a Halloween lamp. Or unfortunately, as we all know, our current situation, there is this Corona lamp. And so it allows me to create it allows me to be very relatively fast and act fast and design new lamps as necessary. So yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Aitan. This is a true spirit of Good Stuff Ventures, because you're like a promotion lab, a little soldier of actually creating products like invent them. Mariana, Sebastian, Matthias, I felt that you might have some feedback, questions. Mariana, would you like to start?
Yes, thank you very much for lightening up the end of this Inventors Night to us. My question is also here about the target audience and the target group. How do you see your customer?
Well, it varies. I see customers as someone who wants this. These lamps are like I consider them as a lamp for a focal point, meaning you put it somewhere in the middle, in the corner of a house, of an office, or even a restaurant, and it just gives you a focal point of color and light. So it varies. It could be for nurseries, it could be for living rooms, offices. It's quite unlimited.
Yes, because as a mother, of course, the first idea I've got was that it would work awesome with some kind of personalization or individualization, and the design is so kids friendly and it works so wonderful. So like night light and stuff like that, that I really could imagine that you can develop it in such a direction greatly, and it will be like really a love brand and a love product.
Yeah, so was that a question or?
It was like more an idea when I saw it, that I think that you can develop this more with some aspects of individualization and personalization, like stickers or something like that, in a even more child-friendly direction.
Yeah, actually today I offer a customization and I make custom lamps and using different types of material. As you saw, I used wood, I use plastic. I can also use different stuff like stickers or decals or paint. So basically it's the sky's limit is the limit, or also 3D printing in case of this one.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Sebastian, would you like to go next?
Yes, for sure. Aitan, thanks a lot for the presentation. Great product demo without any slides at all. I definitely like that. I had the same idea as Mariana. I have 2 boys, and I could really imagine those lamps into the kids' room.
And there's like one question. You keep touching the light, and I'm curious whether the surface actually gets hot or if it stays cool all the time, because I think that would influence whether we put those lamps into kids' rooms. And my question then is, if you think about your product, which way do you think you could develop that? Rather in a, as Miranda said, high-tech direction, meaning adding automatic switch off night lamps, something like that, adding more technique to that, or really staying in a pure way of, it is a lamp and I come up with new designs probably every week or even every day in today's time. So what are you more up to? Which way would you go?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I didn't think about adding more technology, but of course it's possible. As I would like to see this go into more mass production, so not a lamp every day or every week, but maybe for each new holiday, there is a new set of lamps and people can enjoy new kind of light and give new presents. And regarding the other questions, I have those bases that I use. They use 5 volts LEDs, as I said. They're getting slightly warm, but the moment they get to this kind of temperature, it stops and never gets warmer than this. So I have this for a very long time tested, and lamps that run for 24 hours a day for, I think, already month and no problem.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot.
Nice. Matthias, would you like to add yours?
Yeah, Aitan, thank you very much for these showing us these nice lamps, especially the Corona one. It's really, yeah, funny in these difficult times to see this. And yeah, my question is, I guess you're using LED technology in the lamps. That's why you also don't need a real plug, but it's possible to switch it on by using the USB plug. I also see it in the kids' room, and my question is, the motifs you have designed, are they fixed on the base structure, or is it possible to exchange the motifs? For example, if you think about seasonal motifs like Easter or Christmas.
Well, right now, these are designed on this wooden base, which has the LEDs inside, and it comes with a cable and also with a switch. So you can see it. But this is not limited. For example, this is an earlier version. This is actually an old lamp that I designed a long time ago, and it's all made by me. But as you can see, it doesn't have to be based on a wooden base only. It could also be a hang lamp. And this one actually also has a base, so you can also use it as a table lamp. The manufacturer who sold me those bases, they told me that it depends on the amount. So if I have a big order, they can basically design and manufacture whatever I require.
Okay, thank you, Aitan. I think it's really a good product and suitable for the retail and for the mass market. There I could see possibilities, and of course it's depending on the price and the size. This has to be discussed, but very interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. So we have 3 more questions from the audience. So yeah, people seem to like it. And Christian Höhn and Sylvain Bellaniche want to know, why didn't you build in the battery in the base? Like, what was the reason for not making it completely wireless? And is there a plan maybe to do so? So instead of USB, the battery inside, what do you think?
Well, this is a possibility. As I said, it's using only 5 volts, so it is a possibility. I think that I'm using pre-manufacturing parts in these lamps that they also provide me with a CE mark. So it is possible through a certain R&D process and design a new lamp that runs on a battery and also use wireless charging. So you can just put it on a charging plate and take it wherever you want.
Oh, great. Very good. And a last question, also with lots of love from Moaz Bukhari. He says, I want to buy one. Is there a website? So is there a website that people can look at and buy a lamp already?
Yeah, there's my website. It's rigor.design. It's RIEGER.design. www.rigor.design.
Fantastic. We're going to put this on the comments on YouTube as well, that we don't miss it. Thank you so much, Aytan. Thank you very much for those lamps.
Thank you.
Cool. Wow, we are moving to the very last inventor product for this afternoon. So since Good Stuff Ventures is not only cooperating with inventors, just like we've seen now with ITIS, but also with startups, Good Stuff Ventures also tries to build their own products. So they take the chance of presenting the next one. So our last product is part of this kickoff tonight, and it's called a pet cook. So Pet Cook wants to get some feedback from the big audience, and we have Philip Günther with us, who's gonna tell us about Pet Cook. Hi, Philip.
Hi, Bianca. Hello from Hamburg. Thanks for being here. So
that's a nice visual in the back of you. Wow, that's so futuristic.
Yeah, so normally it should be stable.
It looks much cooler that way. The screen is all yours.
Thanks a lot. So yeah, I want to show you around our product. So we've been working with Heuer Handel and Good Stuff for about 6 years as an agency behind building ecosystems and e-commerce solutions and online marketing stuff and all this. And so we came to a conclusion that we need some new products and some new inventions. And one of the products I want to show you today. And so I will share my screen right now to the audience so that you get an idea. Hopefully it runs out. Yeah, perfect. So we are a part of Good Stuff Ventures as a partner. And as we saw today already, products like Jamit or Clean Brace, which also tries to help in Corona times, we more focus to the pets. And that's the reason why we are named also Pet Cook. And yeah, I myself, I'm around in the mid of the 30s, and since 3 years, I have a new partner. My new partner is Einstein, and he's a part of our family, and he's one of the most important parts. And as you all know, dogs and cats, they are very important for all of us. And for sure, food looks like this. We have perfect salmon, chicken, spinach, fresh eggs, and all this stuff. But for real, it's not really for real. The reality looks more like this, a little disgusting. Most cases, we don't have any clue what our most important family members are eating right now. And that's the reason why we invented Pet Cook some months ago. And I want to show you around our product because it's brand new and because we don't have any production right now. Sorry, Sebastian, I have to stay within a presentation mode, and because we have our prototypes over here. So what do we have over here? This is our product. It's a pretty compact tool which helps you do your own food for your pet. So in most cases, we focus on dogs and on cats because we have around 10 million dogs in Germany and almost the same amount of cats. And so we thought a lot about how do we see family lives and all the sustainable discussions, and is there a market maybe for a lot of families who wants to cook for their pets? And yeah, so what do we have over here? We have very easy plugs and buttons. So to make it general, we have 4 core features. We can cook with our Pet Cook, like the name says. We can stir it, for example, and there's also one special feature I will mention later on, and we have an integrated scale. So how do you use it? You put all your ingredients on top, then you press more or less 3 buttons. You will get recipes from our site, and you will also get some ingredients. They're ready to use. And then you press the button, and at the end, the question is, how do I handle it, and how do I preserve it for the next days? Because as we found out, the people don't want to cook for the dog and for the cat like on daily basis. So our idea was that we need a solution which makes the production and also the storage. And I want to focus on the storage, on the production. So, for example, if you have something where you need to cook it, you will have the timer and the temperature. It's going around 100 degrees, and if you need to blend something, then you have, for example, the turbo button or the pulse button. Maybe you know these functions from your normal blenders back home if you do your normal drinks or whatever. So what do we have on the left side over here? We have a standard plug, and we have a very interesting great part at the left side, because we have an integrated vacuum pump included. So how do we handle dog food or cat food for the next 7 days? You get a box, and this box is more or less directly connected to our system. So you can put on the vacuum pump on top of our box. These boxes could be stacked, or these boxes are stackable, and they are also ready to eat. So it's pretty easy to handle. You cook, you put it into the box, you use your vacuum pump, and then you have your own food for your family mates, like the dogs and the cats, for the next 7 days. And then we also thought about, okay, maybe you just cook for about, oh, that's fancy mode. You want maybe just to use it every Monday, every Sunday, whatever. So you need to carry it to another spot, and therefore we have our carrying solution at the right hand. So in total, our USPs, we think that it's the way to have the most healthiest way to feed your pet. You have a lot of freshness and control, and it's pretty easy to use because you just need 3 buttons and you get the solutions and also the recipes. But I don't want to focus on the recipes today, so thanks, and I'm ready for the questions, and also thanks for the great organization. And I'm really happy that YouTube was stable today.
Thank you, Philip. That was pretty exciting. We have questions. This is a funny AR thing in the background. It switches from being unfreiwillig funny to like the virtual demons. Can you see this now? Like your eyes become all yellow. So. Yeah.
So we can also
use it's much, that's much calm for the questions. We have questions from Sebastian, Mariana, and Matthias. Sebastian, would you like to start your feedback to Pet Cook?
Yeah.
Yes, Philip, thanks a lot for the presentation. To be very honest, as I said earlier, I do have kids, so I can relate to the lambs, but I don't have pets, so I can't relate to the Pet Cook as a product itself. But I've 2 questions. The one is, which countries are you actually aiming for? Because I think you need to have real premium users that actually cook their pet food themselves. So I just really, out of curiosity, is that a German thing? Is that rather an Asian thing? So it's what countries are you aiming for? This is question 1. And the second question, can you just give us a glimpse on the cost comparison? If I compare a chubby dog food can with, I don't know, some bio dog food, I don't know even if that is sold in cans, but just as a portion, and then the homemade portion, what's the rough cost comparison out of that?
All right, okay. So first question for the localization. We have a lot of experience with like the thermic cooking around Europe and also worldwide, because yeah, for about the last 5 years we were working on such a project, and we were surprised that we had a very strong market for this thermic cooking within Portugal, for example. So normally we really wouldn't expect that. So First, we focus on German markets and for sure onto the Western world. So we don't thought about that much from an Asian perspective, because we also think that also the sizes of the dogs and the cats matters from our machine. Because if you focus on Asian kitchens, they are way smaller than our kitchens, for example. And we need around 40 centimeters from the beginning to the end. And there will be a discussion. So we are more focused on the Western world within Europe and the US market. From the other perspective, so we are pretty sure that price wouldn't be the strong argument. It's more coming from the ingredients, and it would be definitely more expensive to cook it by yourself with normal, healthy ingredients instead of the last meat you will get on the market. But compared to food which is recommended from vets, it will be cheaper. Because there are a lot of people. So as we got into this project, we saw that there are a lot of dogs which have allergies and they need diets, for example. And this food is really expensive. And in most cases, it's just one ingredient you need to add on or you need to leave out. But it's not about the whole food that it's a magic.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Great. Since it's a good stuff Ventures Corporation, we're going to go straight to the audience question. So somebody in the YouTube chat asked, dogs need hard food so their teeth don't decay.
Yes.
How do you address the problem?
And so if you take a look to the market, it's a 50-50 share of hard food and cooked food. So it's not there's not just the one way. So if you take a look to the figures from 2018, you will have around 500 million spent within the soft food and within the hard foods. So but what's really interesting that we found out that there are a lot of people who want to bake for their dogs and cats. So around Christmas time, but I never got this by myself, but there are a lot of presents for like this small brekkies, whatever you call it. So this would be a way to do the preparation and to bake it afterwards. But we are more focused on the soft food market.
Great. That was another question from Thorsten Kudd. Can you offer the pet cook and special food to prepare? Could it be a nice subscription model for pets? What do you think?
If it's a subscription model, I'm not too sure about. So I wouldn't say that subscriptions are a main idea, but we really thought about the whole system. And so we think that we need also ready-to-use ingredients, because in some cases you need a mix of vitamins and stuff, and so you really need this. And maybe this would be like the anchor coming to subscription model. But at the beginning, we more thought about ways to sell it and maybe ways to lease it.
Nice. And then Yu Wu is asking, can you create your recipes? So are you planning like the Jamet recipe community for pet food? What's your plans?
Yeah, so it's if you take a look to Facebook, we from our background, we already have a Facebook group just for Thermomix pet cookers. And these are there. I think we have around 25,000 people in this group.
Wow.
And so we are not the inventors of the whole market of our recipes, but we will for sure. This is one part of our ecosystem that we are building these recipes, and we already talked to vets and did some analysis. And so it differs from pet to pet, but you could have a solution also for example, for diets, for these allergies, as I mentioned before, but also from a beauty aspect.
Oh, yeah, well, the whole universe of pets. Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much, Philip. Stay with us, because now this is the moment where we're going to send all the experts to their private little chat to see what our final things to say and feedback and questions to ask, and I would like to ask all the inventors and founders that we've seen today in our little group chat to see maybe more questions from. So we have like a 7-minute break for the experts and an invitation for all the inventors, because basically Good Stuff Ventures is trying to really foster the existing community of the ecosystem of creating hardware and creating products, consumer goods you can touch, from the idea to the end. So I would be so interested to learn from you guys what your journey was. So, yeah, great. We have Clean Brace coming back. Nice. Hi, Andre. Who else do I see? Philip, please stay. They're slowly getting to us one-to-one. We're just gonna wait. Philip, maybe I can ask you something in between. How long was your journey from having this idea, let's do this pet cook baby, until actually having it in your hands?
So I think the first, I think it was around 2 years ago when we had the first idea.
Mm-hmm.
And we started talking about it, and we started collecting ideas about it. And then last year I found a new company, and it's called 390 Degrees, like a cross-media agency.
Mm-hmm.
And we stepped together with Falcon Media, and they were the biggest supply for the Thermomix community. And this was the turning point when we started to think about it in detail.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say the first year was more about, okay, this could be a great idea. And the last year we are in detailed plannings. And yeah, right now we are looking forward to launch it until Christmas time this year.
Great. Cool. We have all the inventors now in there. I have like 3 short questions, because it's to the ecosystem. Who of you is raising around at the moment? Who of you needs money for the production? If yes, raise your hand. Okay, so that's Firas. Okay, yeah, keep the hands open, because people are watching and they maybe want to invest into project lists. So it's among founders. It's not something you need to be ashamed for, but the opposite. Fantastic.
I want to mention something important just quickly.
Yes,
sorry.
yeah, please do.
There is production money, working capital versus investment round itself. On production itself, we get ourselves covered through credit lines and convertibles, but on the round itself, which is growth, which is people hiring and stuff like that, that's what we're raising right now. We're planning to close by end of Q2 2020.
Very good. I have a few leftover questions from the community to specific products. To Xinko, Lucas Rex wants to know, Xinko, so that's Sabine. What's the vision for your company? What comes after the kettle? Sabine, you have to unmute yourself, or Alexandros, and then tell us what's after the kettle.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, we start to enter the market with the single product, but have already a line of product and product roadmap for different other applications where we want to use the general idea behind our product. And we think about to make a teapot as well as a coffee machine. And you can even imagine to have an egg cooker, where you can be asked if you want to have a smooth or hard egg, and independently it pops up whatever kind of egg you want. So there are different ideas and a lot of ideas which can be follow-up products.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and what we mentioned before, we can even realize in a second or third edition stopping at different temperatures, which is important for different sorts of tea you're looking for.
There's also another idea, maybe I can mention this. Of course, we can control the stop of the heating via time, but also for temperature, but also via time. So you can imagine a teapot where you have tea, and the water is boiling, and after the water boils, the tea submerges, and after a while it lifts again, and ready is your complete tea. This all without any electronics on board.
Good. Another variety question for Jamit. Where do we have Jamit? Günther. Somebody wants to know, what does steam and cooking include? Does it include pasta and rice?
It could actually could include rice. I don't know. I never steamed the pasta, so I don't know if this works. Basically, what happens is you put water into it, and then it heats up to 99 degree, and then it steams it through. And rice, yes, for sure, you can do with it. We tested that with the rice cooker thing and connection to it when we installed it. However, with the pasta, I never steamed it. It could be good. I mean, I've never steamed the pasta.
Okay, good. And I have one general question, because you're all inventors of products that once have been an idea and now are real. What are the biggest challenges you're having at the moment? Yeah. What are the biggest roadblocks? And you can just like jump in, whoever has an answer to that.
If I may say something.
Please, yes, Adam, please.
For me, it's the marketing and exposure. I think that because I get very good reactions to those lamps, but on the social media, I find myself having to spend all my time doing something in order to get this exposure, and then I don't have time to make lamps. So this is basically my biggest problem.
Yeah, that's understandable. Anybody else wants to add one big problem? And otherwise, the experts are ready to share their feedback. Yes, yeah, no, please.
For us, it's always, I think, I mean, it's very, very digital, but what it all comes down to is also about the right people working together, like finding the right network, also team members. So like, that's always like we're growing, it's very, very important to have the right synergies, whether it's team members or partners, customers.
Okay, let's get because we're so over time, let's get our experts back. Mariana, Sebastian, Friedhof, Matthias, please come back to our videos. And maybe Mariana wants to start the first feedback. Hello, do we have the experts back? Matthias, Mariana, Sebastian, you have to switch on your videos.
Yeah, I just would start now. So thank you very much to everyone for presenting the ideas, and especially me as a founder of a place where everyone can realize the ideas, especially related to hardware. Really appreciated that there's so many great ideas outside related to hardware, because I think we will not change the world with just digital projects. It is the combination of digital and physical products which will change the world. So thank you very much for all your effort which you spent into your idea to realize it, to bring your idea to life. And it's really inspiring also for me to see in which different fields people are working on. So we have seen so many ideas: lamps, food cooking, mobile phones. It's awesome. So thank you very much. Keep your motivation into it, and I wish you all the best for the future, because I think every single idea of this presentation has so much potential to go into the market. So yeah, thank you very much for this.
Thank you, Friedhof. Mariana, Sebastian, would you like to go next? Mariana?
Yes, I was also overwhelmed by the love and the passion you give us for this digital presentation and demonstration of your products, and it was such a pleasure to see that and to be part of that. Thank you so much for sharing your ideas and your inspiration with us. And I also agree with my jury partner that not only digital product will change the world, but it will be a combination of both. And we also have to revolutionize the way we think and produce and handle hard goods.
Yes, thank you. Sebastian, any final comments from your side?
Yes, first of all, a big thank you. Big thanks towards you, Bianca. Thanks for being the moderator. I think you did a great job. It's not easy to handle in total roughly 20 people in 20 home offices around the globe. So big thanks to you. Also, thanks to everyone being involved. Thanks to namely Nicoline and Marcel, two of our colleagues who have done a fantastic job in the back end, in the back office, so to say, to make sure that everything runs stable. So kudos to the two of you. Also, really big thank to all the panelists and inventors. I mean, we wanted to do it as a physical event, and 10 days ago we said we completely shift to virtual, and everyone stayed on board. So thanks for trusting us in this event. If it comes to the actual products, to be very honest, I loved really all of them. If I have to nail it down to which products we as Good Stuff Ventures can actually create the biggest impact or biggest help, then I would say it is the kettle, it is also the lid, and the clean brace product. I think those are three ones which kind of lack the marketing aspect, the product aspect, in terms of really bringing them into a mass market product. I think this is something where we'll have very interesting discussions after today. But also with the two other products, I wish them all the best. I think that has been really a fantastic glimpse into what those entrepreneurs are working on. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. So I'm going to leave the last words to Matthias Heuer for outlook, potential cooperation. What's your final words?
Yeah, thank you, Bianca. And yeah, I would like to start by saying again that we should all remind us that we planned a totally different evening tonight. So we plan to have it in the wonderful Motion Lab where you can see a lot, where we have a big audience sitting there, and we have the experts sitting there, and then we could have a chat and some finger food, and we can discuss everything afterwards. But we decided, yeah, not to cancel it, like everything is canceled right now. So we are not shutting down. We continue to do our business. And that's why I would like to thank especially all the inventors and startups that they agreed not to cancel, but to open their living rooms or kitchens or whatsoever, sitting there and presenting their ideas. So it's a complete different thing, what we experienced tonight, but I think it was very interesting, very and inspiring to have everyone here. And so also that YouTube and all the different systems were working, no shutdown on the internet or any other technical problems. I think this was wonderful. So thanks also to Nicoline and Kathleen for organizing all this, and for your wonderful moderation, Bianca. And yeah, talking about the products, I think it's also difficult in this virtual surrounding. For me, also the Xinco water kettle on the induction plate is my personal favorite. I love this item. Then we have a variety of other items where I have a lot of questions, and I see a big potential for many of the presented items. And I would suggest that we yeah, discuss on all the ideas later on. And yeah, because we don't have the chance right now. So thanks to everybody, and I'm sure and I hope that we will have a second event where we can all meet personally in Berlin to discuss your inventions and to see new inventors. So we also, of course, invite all people sitting at home right now having good ideas. Yeah, stand up and present your idea. And I'm very happy to see you all in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matthias. So since we're like half an hour over time, to all those inventors who are sitting in quarantine outside in the YouTube channel, and you think, oh, I have this idea, but I don't know whether it's good enough. That's exactly what Good Stuff Ventures is about. So please shoot an email to hello@goodstuffventures or Kathleen@goodstuffventures. That's a lady that you've just mentioned, and she is gonna she's gonna answer all of the emails, and that's her. I hope that I can, she sent me this sweet video, sweet photo. So this is Kathleen. And she's going to answer all the emails. So please don't be shy. All these ideas you've seen today have started with some random, like maybe. So definitely send those emails. You see them on the YouTube comment as well. Yeah, I think use the quarantine to give more birth to crazy ideas. And this is not going to be the last time that you've seen something from Good Stuff Ventures. So hopefully the next event will happening in this fall, 3-4 months from now, in person, celebrating new ideas from inventors of consumer products. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful evening. Stay at home. See you soon.